was that?
You know what? It's ruined. I think the intro's ruined at this point. I don't think.
No, it's fine. Just pretend.
Hey guys.
No, don't talk yet. Don't talk yet. We gotta wait till the beat drops. It's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. All right, turn it off.
Hey
All right.
guys.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Welcome back to the what did I name this? The podcast boys.
Podcast boys.
There we go. That's what I remember now. And we got the usual people here today. We got me. We got Gabe. And then we got finally a third person.
Yeah, we finally have a guest who's actually in here in person.
Uh-huh. Tell us, the audience, who you are.
Hey, it's Josh.
What if he didn't talk?
Josh was
I
just
thought
a
about
mute.
it. I thought about it. I did think about staying silent.
We brought a deaf mute person as our third guest.
Awesome, dude.
It's very progressive.
We try to be. We try to be the most progressive YouTube channel out there.
How do you select somebody like that, like a deaf mute? person?
We go in a crowd and we yell, and whoever can hear us, we pick them.
No, it's not how you pick a deaf mute person.
That's how I do it.
It's whoever can't hear you.
Yeah, I stand behind them with like two loud like cymbals, and I clank them together. And if they don't react, I take them. I physically take them.
I mean,
Jesus.
Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense.
And they're
Checks
sitting
out.
right here next to us. You just can't tell.
Well, I can see them. The viewers can't.
Yeah.
But they're not moving much. Are you sure they're like they made it? Okay.
You know, I left them in a box.
Tom's here again.
This is another thing he likes to do.
Who's Tom?
Wait, was that a door?
Was that a ghost? What happened?
That literally sounded like
Was that Tom?
The cat.
Oh, it sounded like a door opening.
I don't know. Anyways, Josh, you want to ask a question to our friend Tom? Want to bring him back from the
So
dead again?
stupid.
Who are you, Tom?
Dude, I told you to do the bendy every once in a while.
I'm not following.
That's not Tom. That's
That's
Jack
What's funny?
Black.
I didn't laugh. I'm not sure. Nothing's funny, sir. I just don't know who you are.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, so we've got nothing planned for this episode.
We never have anything planned for any podcast.
Nothing. So I'm just gonna leave it to Josh.
Spitball
What do you want to
ideas?
talk about?
Well, I'm actually still interested in who Tom is. You haven't really explained anything about
Tom is our other guy. who's
Intern?
here. Yeah.
I see. Okay, how much do you pay him?
Not enough.
Pay?
I see. Okay.
Those two different answers.
Very different.
I mean, it's both. They both said the same thing.
They
in a
both
way.
mean the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Tom, do you think we pay you a good enough amount of money?
Do you have any money?
Oh, he's asking for money now.
Oh.
Typical Tom.
And I mean, it makes sense that you would give a different answer because you only own 49%.
Yeah, I only own
and
49% of this
you-
channel.
You don't get to see the details that Trevor.
Trevor
gets to
actually
see.
makes up all the contracts and everything.
Dude.
Even Jack. I'm sorry, Tom.
Tom. We can't even keep the bit going.
even Tom.
Tom.
It's not good that it sounds a lot like Jack Black. I mean,
It's because it is Jack.
no, it's
Black.
Tom.
No, way to kill the illusion. Anyway, let's get off this, please.
Yeah, we'll get away from this one. All right. Anyways, Josh, what do you want to talk about?
Oh wait, that's let's talk about that.
Why did Bilbo Baggins keep the ring for so long?
Because the ring had a power on him that he didn't want to give it away. That's why Gollum looks like a shriveled up raisin. Wow, the mic is picking that up.
Junior, shut up!
I cannot believe the mic is picking that
I
up.
picked it up in the last episode,
Wow.
so I'm not shocked.
Just hears us talk, and he wants to talk.
He wants to join in.
Yeah. If anything, I think I'm kind of upset that you don't have a mic for him.
Yeah, we could have called this.
Tom?
Yeah. No, the cat.
Oh,
No, we're done with Tom.
I'm like, which bit are we on?
Tom has a mic. That's why we can hear him.
Yeah, we could have done the cat cast.
Okay.
Well, that's probably copyright. That probably already exists.
No, trademark that right now, Trevor.
That probably exists.
Type it up. See what pops up.
Because like
Cat cast.
podcasts were big for a while.
Cat scratch.
And I'm sure somebody made that up. Cat Scratch
damn
is
it,
probably
Gabe.
also a podcast.
No, Cat Scratch was a TV show on
Yeah.
Nickelodeon.
Oh yeah, isn't that no, that's Cat Dog.
No, this was the one that had like the Scottish orange and white cat.
Yeah, that's the cat.
The Lucky Claw.
Who had a weird obsession with the little girl in the show?
Was that the? It was on Nickelodeon. They were running.
No, it was Cartoon Network.
Cartoon
That was
Network?
Nickelodeon.
Was it Nick? Okay.
I was just saying, they were running it alongside wasn't there a show with a bee? Was a little girl?
Mighty
Bee.
Mighty Bee. Yeah.
It was not on around that time.
You sure?
It was a little
was a
earlier.
little bit earlier.
This was like early 2000s.
I barely remember any of those shows.
Oh, he's playing Cat Scratch. Who's?
I remember the intro.
I don't remember who voiced Waffles, which was the gray cat.
That was.
Crazy. Isn't the gray cat like crazy?
Yeah, he's like the weird one out of the group.
It's the dumb one.
He's the Trevor one.
He's the equivalent of the flea from like Mucha Lucha.
I would say he's the equivalent of Ed and Ed and Eddie.
They're all the same archetype, so.
Yeah, because the black cat was like the stingy, power-hungry one.
Yeah.
The
He was
orange
the Daffy
one,
Duck of
the
the
orange
group.
one again, had a weird obsession with the little girl of the show. Very weird. That's the pilot
There
of the
we go.
show.
I got the...
Thank you for
Junior-
I got the
miking up-
mic for
Junior made it.
Yeah, thank you.
Junior, what do you think about this podcast right now? Well, all right.
Ooh, that
said.
didn't sound like a good one.
I mean, he was honest.
Were you more of a Nickelodeon kid or a Cartoon Network kid? Or Disney? Disney had.
Junior one stands for that.
I was gonna say that wasn't even the computer that time. That was just Trevor's actual cat.
Junior!
Anyway, were you what did you watch growing up?
It never was never like a choice for me. I just watched whatever was on. But
Junior, I needed to shut the hell up.
it was most often Cartoon Network because I would also watch Adult Swim, and so it was kind of those two would bleed together.
Did you watch Toonami?
I did watch Tsunami when it was on. It was usually later than I stayed up.
Do you remember
Oh,
Toonami?
Yeah, what was the robot guy's name?
I
Tom?
don't remember.
It's something like that.
But he'd be like, coming
Tom
up
or Tom
next.
or-
Tommy.
Like I remember he did like the ads for like GT. It's like coming up next.
His name was Tom. Okay, yeah.
He'd like
It was-
sit in the
he
big
was-
chair.
He was voiced by Steve Bloom.
They
Yeah,
brought it
yeah.
back for a while. I don't remember what happened to it. I think it was a temporary thing.
I was a Cartoon Network kid, but I didn't watch Adult Swim. I watched the good shows.
Man,
Ooh, damn. Get burned, idiots.
I used to keep up with Family Guy just because it was on every night. That's what I saw.
I can't genuinely remember the last time I sat down and watched Family Guy.
Trust me, I never sat down and said, let's watch some Family Guy. But it was on. I was like, okay.
Like I was house sitting in my grandma's house recently, and I was stuck watching all day marathons of Family Guy, and I feel like I lost so many brain cells.
This reminds me of the time that I was trapped
Literally,
in a white room.
it's like this is worse than the time that I fucking died.
Well, this is worse than that time you cheated on me with Steve Carell.
Hey Lois,
Hello.
this is worse than the time that Brian died.
So what was...
The one time we have
I'm
a
going to strangle Junior.
Hey,
The the one time we have a guest over for the,
The one time-
podcast,
Junior
Trevor's cat won't shut up.
Never does this when we're recording.
I'm cat friendly. I'm upset that you guys are interrupting him, frankly.
That's true. Let's let him finish.
Thank you.
All right, I guess he's done.
No, he was.
That's all he wanted.
I think he is just talking to us.
Probably. Trevor, can you like throw him in a room like you usually do? With no food or no water? It's like it's getting louder.
It really is.
Trevor is very upset about this for
Because
some
he
reason.
never does this.
I think this is hilarious.
Wait, if we don't say anything for a second, he'll.
Let's try that.
Hello?
Was that fucking Peter Griffin? Did you just Peter Griffin us?
I love that he has to frantically use the trackpad of
Lois?
his mouse to use all of this.
No, it's so funny doing this podcast and seeing him type so fast.
Trying to find
Like
something.
I'll be sitting here talking about something, you just see this. It's like, oh, what the fuck's he gonna do now?
What's he doing over...
How's he gonna interrupt me this time?
What gremlin thing is he doing over there right now, huh? Anyways, as we were talking about.
So
What was your favorite show, I guess, growing up?
Cartoon Network specifically?
Yeah.
my favorite show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because I know mine. Trevor knows mine.
Yeah. Yours is pretty easy.
I mean, I guess it's got to be Ed, Ed and Eddie because
That's a good pick.
Good one.
For a long time, that was all Cartoon Network played in the morning at 6 a.m. when I got up for school.
That's my number 2.
It was either Dragon Ball Z was on some other channel, and at the time it was cool, but I was too young and I didn't really care. So I switched to Ed and Eddie, and I watched that.
This Dragon Ball stuff's too. This is for babies. I'm gonna watch Ed, Ed and Eddie.
This ain't your grandma's Dragon Ball.
It's less of that. It's like you're a 13-year-old and you've never even seen the show, and so you're like, you turn it on and they're halfway through season 3 or
Yeah,
something.
it's like it's like Super Saiyan 2's already a thing. You're like, this is stupid.
Who's this fucking green guy? And I don't know
Who's
what's
this
happening.
green man? Which one?
I think I remember tuning in at one point, and it was whenever Cell was draining people, and I'm like, I don't want to be here.
I remember the first exposure I had to Dragon Ball was at my parents' or my grandparents' houseboat on the lake, and it was the episode where Vegeta he turns into the great ape. Mm-hmm. I don't know the actual name of it.
It's the
Ozaru. And I was like, oh, this show's stupid. And then I flipped on Adult Swim and watched King of the Hill.
Hell yeah, they're bringing that back.
They are, but it's gonna be weird because Dale's dead.
It's gonna be weird for a lot of reasons, I think.
Yeah.
The fact that they're just bringing it back in general.
Yeah.
You know what? We're at this point of age where they're just bringing back everything.
Uh-huh.
I mean, look at Megamind 2.
Ignoring that, I think
Ignoring that.
Good call.
well, it's like King of the Hill's gonna have to touch on modern topics.
Oh.
What are they gonna make? What's the show gonna be about?
It's like gonna be 90% Trump jokes.
Wait, which side do you think they're gonna be on?
Pro Trump all the way.
Yeah, they're in
It's-
Texas.
They were in Texas.
They're in
so-
Texas. Yeah.
Oh, Bobby, I heard you were voting for Joe Biden.
Bobby, I swear to God,
If you ever mention that man's name in my house, I will hit you.
I will fucking slap you across the room.
At this point, Hank's a different person. He's
Very different. He's changed.
I want the reboot to be Hank is the exact opposite of what he was. I love charcoal.
Bobby comes in wearing a mask.
That was an episode
Yeah, it
where he
was.
switched over to charcoal for a
Yeah.
And
bit.
he's like,
He
this
did.
is fucking disgusting.
This is awesome. Hell yeah.
This shit bussin'.
This shit.
No.
Just going.
I want Hank Hill to walk in and be like, hey, everybody, how about that Biden? He's doing great things for this world.
I feel like Hank would be really passive aggressive about the mask and like the COVID thing.
I
I feel like he would be like on board of it if it was in Strickland propane.
Well, yeah, in his place of work, he'd be like, we gotta be safe.
Like,
here,
this
we're
is
selling
god
champagne.
dang ridiculous. I'm in the middle of the street drinking beer.
Yeah, that's 100% a line that would be sad.
And so that's it. I'm going to kick your ass.
And then
And then Boomhauer is just one man talking about that dang old man drinking beer, man, putting a mask on, man. And Bill's dead.
Bill hung himself at some point.
What you doing up there, Bill? Installing a new antenna? No, I'm just up here to kill myself. Can we talk about that on YouTube?
I don't know. I might have to cut that one out.
I mean, it's in reference to a show, so it might be fine.
I mean, did you say the K word? I didn't hear anybody
We
say
did,
it.
yeah.
yeah, I 100% just said.
And I believe I did as well.
He unalived himself from the roof.
There we go. We can keep that in.
We can keep it in because he didn't really do it. He's still in the show.
Yeah, but we're still making a joke about. I don't
It's
know.
fine.
I don't know how
Just
it'll
leave
go
it
on.
in.
Because
YouTube cares.
if people didn't notice, the last episode that went out, I had to cut out some stuff from
Well,
it.
that was different. We were talking about something completely different.
Yeah,
An historical event that happened specifically in the 40s.
I'm just curious if anybody will notice the cuts, though.
Oh, it probably.
Well, you will because
Well,
you were there.
Now that you've mentioned it,
Is
too.
my brother still going to be in that? Because he's going to be really upset
He
if
is
he's
in
cut
that,
out.
yeah.
Okay.
I just have to cut around it. So
The only thing you left in is him calling his brother in the Holocaust conversation. They're right next to each other.
You mentioned it.
gonna have to cut that one out.
Well, yeah, I mean, I figured
You can say the
we're
word.
talking about.
You can't just you can't talk about it, but you can say what it was.
Okay, that's fine. I'll probably let that one slide.
Like you can say Titanic and it's like, oh, people died on that. Can't talk
yeah,
about
but
it.
that's funny.
It was pretty funny. People were laughing out loud on that
I was
iceberg.
gonna say the issue would be attaching an opinion to it, like what you just said.
That is yeah.
The captain of the Titanic took a picture of the iceberg. He said, "Yo, we hitting this?"
Yo, I tapped that.
I tapped that.
Just go straight through it.
Rams right into it.
Anyways,
Hey, Josh, how do you feel about cryptids?
well, we're circling back.
We have to talk about all the topics we did without Josh. He's back at it again. It's funny because he's trying to jump on the chair and it's spinning.
Junior, you're not lost. You know where you are. Stop.
It's because he sees another chair there and he's confused.
He's like, where am I? I'm half blind. Oh.
He's like, no one's sitting here. I
You're
can't.
done now?
Anyway, do you believe in certain cryptids?
I mean, belief's a strong word. I like cryptids. I think it's a cool idea.
I love cryptids.
Even stuff as rudimentary as Bigfoot, it's just cool. It's cool to have stories.
Even
like
though
that.
Bigfoot is probably the most boring out of all of them.
It's what I
a big
said.
ape man.
Yeah,
It's the most
he's
rudimentary,
pretty
like,
boring.
it's basic.
And
out
then the
there.
Yeti's kind of just lazy. It's just Bigfoot but ice.
I mean, have you looked at like half the cryptids out there are just
there are
Bigfoot ripoffs?
Yeah, there's so many.
The fucking skunk man, and
that,
we have our own here in Missouri, Momo.
Yeah.
Which I think is just Bigfoot. It literally is just Bigfoot. It's
He
just
gets
what
around.
They want to call it something else. But,
He likes to.
Which-
He likes to travel.
In the first episode we talked about cryptids. Did we talk about the Bigfoot footage in that one?
No,
About how it was confirmed that it's fake now?
the guy
famous
who
one
the
where
guy
the guy
who made
walks-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
he did an interview talking
Maybe
about
I don't know if we talked about it.
remember
I think we
right
got
now.
too distracted.
Probably.
But yeah, the guy who made it. It's like when the picture of the Loch Ness monster, the guy on his deathbed was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, that was fake."
Also, I think people, even whenever he took a picture of that, I think they knew.
You'd be surprised.
I mean, there are people.
People to this day will still probably look at that picture and be like, "It's real."
Well, because there was two pictures.
The government paid him off to say it was fake.
Yeah,
there was
Gabe's
the picture
right.
that he did, and then there was the picture where the guy took of an elephant. Those are
Yeah,
two
that's-
separate
that's-
ones.
There's no elephants in Scotland.
That was the point.
I've looked.
You've looked physically.
I looked in Loch Ness.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyways.
Gabe's right. People, they won't even want to believe it's fake.
No,
The guy can
people
come out and
want to
say, "I
believe
faked
that
it."
is real.
What's your favorite cryptid?
Probably the Skinwalker. I just think that's the most interesting.
I feel like that one has gotten so much
So-
popular as of late.
Okay, here's my thing.
I've liked it before then. to
Before
be,
you
to be
say
clear.
anything,
You
to
were
him-
a starter of that
Yeah,
trend.
Yeah.
Before you say anything to Josh, it's like every time I talk, he wants
Before
to know,
Trevor murders his cat.
What is a skinwalker?
What do you mean? You just asking me in general?
Yeah,
Just to
what do you
explain it?
think a skinwalker is?
Like if I was a skinwalker right now, how would you describe me?
From my understanding, and I guess depending on the media that you're consuming,
Mm-hmm.
it'll have its own version. But the Native American folktale version of it is that it's a guy who was cast out by the tribe for whatever reason, became a cannibal, and through his cannibalistic tendencies, grew to become a monster.
Now, is skinwalker the same as those cryptids or those creatures where they disguise themselves as humans?
That's a skinwalker.
That's also a skinwalker.
That's,
I thought
that's why they're
don't-
called
I
skinwalkers.
thought because skinwalkers are also Wendigos,
Yes,
right?
Wendigo
Yeah.
is the Native American.
Yeah,
term
but
for it.
they don't dress up as humans. Do
They don't
they?
dress up. They change
They
their
they-
form, and it's not only humans. They can turn into a dog or a deer.
I thought it was like from a thing where it was like it'll make the sounds of a human, and then that's how it lures.
I mean,
or
that's
something like that.
one of them. I mean, there's videos of like,
Because I always get confused when people mention skinwalkers because I feel like they're talking about two different things whenever they're talking.
They usually
about them.
are, 'cause a
because
lot of
I think
people-
about the Wendigos.
Yeah, they're really the same, but a lot of people have their own, headcanon for it.
they
There's
they like to subcategorize them.
Yeah,
But like the most common trope you'll see is the person has a dog, the dog runs off barking, and then they hear the barking and they go out and they see their dog and they think it's their dog.
Yeah, I've heard of the one for skinwalkers where it's like a human and they scream for help to get you to go out there,
Yeah.
and then that's how it gets you. Which, by the way, I saw the creepiest video ever recently. It was a guy on his dirt bike and he's going through the woods, and you hear like the typical sounds you would in the woods, like crickets, cicadas, birds, all that. And it's getting dark, like the sun's still out. It's at that point where before it gets totally dark, and he stops because he thought he heard something, and then it just goes dead silent, like not a single noise. And they say if that happens out in the woods, jungle, or anything, that means that there is something watching you that
Okay.
has scared all those things away.
Now, Josh, are you sure your favorite cryptid isn't the Loveland frog?
Why would it be the level?
What are you trying to say?
I don't know. I was looking at a random list and I found that
Do
one.
you think Josh is some kind of weird frog lover?
So your favorite's Wendigo.
Just off the top of my head, yeah, probably.
Gabe,
There's so many.
pick one.
If I had to pick one, for the longest time, because I thought it was the dumbest thing ever, it was the Oklahoma octopus.
Cryptid?
That's a real thing.
There's a lot of weird cryptids.
It's just
You could just get an octopus and bring it to Oklahoma.
it's literally a giant octopus that lives in the lakes of Oklahoma. That's it.
I see.
And I was like, that's so simple and stupid. I love it. But as of late, like the Bear Lake monster, I like that one a lot. Which is weird because I have thalassophobia, so I'm afraid of like the ocean and stuff.
Right.
But my favorite cryptids are the ones that involve oceans, lakes, stuff like that.
The oceans make sense to me. Lakes I never understood just because like you can like see to the bottom of the lake. Like, there's not an octopus down
Not
there.
really.
In some parts of a
Out
lake.
here in the Ozarks, you can't see the bottom of the lake.
Sure, but like if we were in terms of cryptids,
I think
people have seen the bottom of that lake. They know there's not.
I
a
think
giant
my
octopus,
perspective
you know?
of lakes has changed ever since River Monsters has been a show. It's like, wow, this is not scary at all.
He does go.
He goes to the Ozarks.
Yeah, I would say the bulk of his episodes are places.
Yeah,
That's
he finds
he's
the-
the man-eating catfish.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a big catfish, don't get me wrong. Like, bigger than this table, probably. Junior, I'm trying to talk. But there was, like, the alligator gar.
You guys did say cat. To be
That's
fair.
true. I did say cat and fish. And cats like to eat fish.
And cat.
But, like, alligator gars, they get huge. Oh, Trevor's gotten up.
I'm gonna beat my cat now.
Anyway.
Trevor stepped up from his desk. He is attacking the.
This is a
feline.
play-by-play.
He's picked up a weapon now.
He is actively stabbing the cat in the back.
Oh, it appears that the cat has taken the weapon from him, has
The cat-
wrestled the weapon, and is now beating him to death.
The cat has grown thumbs.
Trevor's not even moving anymore. He's on the ground, just being attacked.
Skinwalker.
Trevor, you killed the illusion. We wanted them to believe that your cat beat you up. But yeah, I would say probably the Bear Lake monster.
Is your favorite?
Yeah. One of them is supposed to be like based off of Zephactinus, which is a prehistoric fish. And I just think that's really funny that most cryptids are based, it's either Native American lore or it's a prehistoric creature that survived somehow. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Bear Lake monster, look it up.
So,
No, I'm telling the audience to look it up. I mean, you can look it
well,
up
I
if you
want
want
to see
to.
an image just to make sure. Bear Lake monster. What the hell am I looking at here?
It's like a demonic looking fish. Look up Zephactinus. Good luck spelling that.
I'm not.
Let me.
I'll
give
get
you
an idea.
I'll give you a hint. Starts with an X.
Yeah, that helps. Okay, yeah.
What's your favorite, Trevor?
Loch Ness.
The Loch Ness?
Yeah.
Really?
Classic.
Ever since I was a kid, Loch Ness has been my favorite. To the point where I even did an essay on the Loch Ness in one of the grades. I don't remember which one. One of the younger ones.
You know what the most overhyped one is?
Which one?
Mothman.
No, I disagree.
I mean,
Mothman's pretty cool.
Is it?
It is though. If you're going with the traditional, like this black object that has just red eyes that flies in the sky, that's cool.
I don't know. I feel like it's just gotten.
And also the idea where it doesn't really have a head.
I feel
it's
like it's
just like
gotten.
one
I feel like
thing.
it's been too mainstreamed as of late.
I mean,
my question is like, I don't think it's that cool as Mothman, or whatever. But I don't think it's been overplayed. I've never met anyone that's like, dude, Mothman.
Oh, dude, there's
I
like-
just watched the movie. I've got all of the
if you
memorabilia.
go to the place where Mothman was born, like the
Yeah,
lake,
sure,
if you
they
go to
have
the-
a statue
it's
of
a
him.
tourist.
Oh
town.
no,
You
there's
come to
like
Branson, they've
there's
got a-
groups of people
Yeah.
who like love Mothman.
Sure.
He's like one of the main focal
But,
points, one of the Fallout
There's people
teams.
who love Slender Man too, but I mean like
Yeah,
you
some
don't-
girl
Slender
stabbed
Man a
another girl.
cryptid?
No,
Yes. Well,
Okay.
technically, yeah. No, yeah.
Said two different
Cryptids
things.
are fake. Let's cover
Slender
this.
Man is a
Is
creepypasta.
an alien a cryptid?
Right, but it's based off of a folklore that did exist.
An alien?
Yeah, is an alien a cryptid?
I don't think so.
I mean, until we confirm their existence, I guess you could technically argue that.
I was gonna
Like
say
traditional
I do
gray
think-
alien.
no.
Is that a cryptid?
You
I
talking
think
about
you could
like
make the argument
in
yes.
movies, little gray men?
Yeah,
Then yeah, I would say those are cryptids.
those are cryptids.
Yeah, I agree with what he said.
But like actual aliens? No, I don't think so.
And as far as that goes, I think that you could make the argument. I wouldn't make that argument, but I think that somebody could, and I would see why they were
I
saying
feel like that would be too much.
It's just they're not. We don't know they're real.
There's too much technicalities to go into that.
Technicalities about Bigfoot.
That's true.
If we're talking about technicalities, then none of it matters. But
I think aliens are real.
I
don't think they're as real as everybody thinks they are.
I
don't think they're what everybody thinks they are.
I guess I have the answer that everybody else has, but I think statistically, it's a guarantee.
Yeah, I mean, how can there not be life outside of our planet?
It may not have to be right now, but what about the billions of years before us and
Right?
after us?
I like to think as aliens as like, yes, they're on a different planet, but they're like they start off as like we did, like single cell organisms.
I kind of feel like the only way you couldn't believe in aliens is
If you're very
you were
religious.
very religious and you believe that the Earth was only like 2,000 years old. And
I worked with a guy who believed that the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs was a spaceship that held Adam and Eve.
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
insane.
And I will say this every time. I do not care what you believe in. I don't care what you do in your free time. That's fine as long as you're not hurting people.
Yeah.
But he sat there and tried to convince me that I was wrong with my beliefs and that the asteroid that crashed into the Earth was a spaceship that held Adam and Eve.
Yeah, I mean, it's never really normal people that try to convince you, is it? It's always people who have some crazy idea. And they're like,
The
I'm right, you're
weirdest
wrong.
ideas are the people who try to convince you the most.
No.
Like, I've never been stopped by, like, a man who's a Buddhist.
Exactly. And it'll go like, I believe in Buddha so
You met the
vehemently.
Dalai
that I-
Lama?
Yeah, it's
What's
like,
up?
oh, you're wrong because you're not a Buddhist like me. It's like, no, hey, what's up, dude?
But if you're around a flat earther or something, you even joke or say like a saying
They'll
that the Earth
fight
is round.
you.
And, yeah.
They'll be like, the Earth is as flat as this table. You want to know the most recent thing I saw? That the Earth is smaller than they say it is, and that there's a giant wall that cuts off other parts of the world that have other continents in it. And we're just like the middle section of the Earth.
Well, I mean, yeah, Lord of the Rings was a documentary.
That's true. That's true. Lord of the Rings was a documentary.
We have to figure out how to get to the land of the elves.
That's
because-
true. I love Skyrim.
We gotta get to the great big tree thing.
The great
big
big
tree
tree thing.
What? That's in the Tolkien verse. There was that like light tree or whatever.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a
but it
few-
wasn't. I
there's
don't
a
think
few,
it was
actually.
as big as you think it is.
No, yeah, it was huge.
There's several is the thing.
It was the one where it was like it's always day or something. Wasn't that in the Tolkien verse
Well,
where it's like
there's
there's that giant
something
light
like
tree
that?
where
There
were
it's
two
like,
trees. There was
it's
one that was
never,
day,
it's never like dark or something like that.
I like to think of like the Viking beliefs as like the life tree.
My understanding is that there were two trees, and that one was day and one was night, and then
okay.
The spider bitch's mom came by, and the one elf guy Morgul. Or
That is
whatever.
our name. That is our canon name.
Is that factually his name, Morgul?
It's close. Morgoth, something like that. I think it's Morgoth. They ate the trees and like sucked out the life juice. So there you go. There's your Lord of the Rings lore.
Some good
I'm just
lore.
gonna say this to get this out of the way because I like making people angry. I like Lord of the Rings more than Star Wars. I think it's better than Star
Whoa,
Wars.
holy shit, dude!
Alex is gonna.
Alex is gonna
Actually, Alex
fight
doesn't.
you.
Alex doesn't talk to me anymore.
She doesn't.
No, she's too busy
Oh.
doing other stuff.
Okay, at least
At
it's
least
not,
I think.
At least it's not a thing where it's like she hates you or something.
Well, let's not
Let's not go overboard.
let's not say that either. She might hate me.
Well, we'll see what happens.
I'm probably gonna get a call now after this podcast comes out.
Woof.
So you just name dropping people out here.
We always
Sure.
do that. I give you context. You probably haven't listened to the other podcast episodes.
Josh has no idea. Like he doesn't even know what we're doing here. He doesn't know we have a YouTube
he
channel.
doesn't know what this channel
Wait,
is.
we're recording something?
Yeah. There was an
That's what these mics are.
there was an episode of a podcast where we ended it with us calling people,
Right.
and I decided I'm just gonna call a couple people. Called Cody. He had just woken up from a nap.
No, he was
so
getting ready for work.
he was getting ready for work, and
Same
so
thing.
he didn't want to do anything.
By the way, it was like 5 p.m. when you called him and he said he was getting ready for work.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
He works at
getting
night
ready
shift,
for work.
yeah.
I'm
he
getting
works
ready
at a
for work.
hotel, so.
Gotcha.
And then I went down my contact list and I saw a contact for Josh. And I was like, I'll call Josh. Wasn't you.
Different Josh.
Who'd you call?
I called Josh Moncado from high school.
It's been years since I've seen him. I can imagine
He
it's been
fully
years.
answered. And we
He did.
talked.
I
Did
was
he know it
sitting
was you
here.
from your number?
He knew it was
He didn't know you at first.
He saw that my name came up, but he was like, he didn't know immediately. And then whenever I explained I was from school, he knew immediately.
Yeah, he
That's
was like Trevor.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I'm just sitting here. I was like, I don't know who this
Did
is.
we say his last name? By the way, we should probably cut that out. Maybe not keep that.
I
in.
left it in the first one, so it's fine.
I mean, it's not like he's gonna listen to this.
What if you're famous in 10 years?
That'd be
It's
amazing
not
if
gonna
that's what
matter
gets
at
us
that
taken
point.
down. Josh comes back and gets
the-
us taken down because of
You
that.
said
The
his
only
name,
part
yeah.
that I feel bad about is I didn't tell him he was being recorded.
That's illegal.
Oh, that is illegal in Missouri.
That is the only part I felt
You
bad
should have
about.
said that right now. You should cut that out.
that's
Yeah.
fine, I'll
That's
keep
the
I was
it
gonna
in.
say
real
you
crime.
should probably cut around that part because that is illegal.
It's two-party consent. That's a real law here. They take it seriously.
Who cares?
God, they do. They do take that really seriously here.
Yes, they do.
What you looking at over there, Gabe?
I'm debating if I want to drink or not.
No. I can get you a cup of water.
No, I get it. I want to stretch my legs.
All right, Josh, what do you want to
Josh
talk about?
just smelled his microphone.
I was,
like-
I was
it's
trying to get the mic to pick up the
It's
smell.
like cat memes.
Sorry, that sounded awful.
Should have muted your
I'm
mic.
stuck. I'm stuck between two microphones, so it's a bit of a tight squeeze.
I can't believe nobody watches this.
Wow.
Thanks, Josh.
So I was just saying the last like 30 seconds were him.
You know what?
silence,
I don't give
him
a
getting
shit
up, and then
anymore.
you
I'm just
burped.
gonna.
Sorry.
Podcast got really good amount of views.
It's so funny because we can still hear you.
I'm just saying.
Well, they probably can't hear him.
There's a Pikachu on your cereal box.
Yeah, you put it there.
What were you
What?
asking? You were asking me something?
Oh, I was asking. What do you want to talk about right now?
What do we want to talk about right now?
Yeah.
What do you think Sain was thinking when Gollum, fell into the lava and burned the ring?
He was probably thinking that was pretty sweet.
You think Sain? He thought it was pretty sweet. He was like, "Damn, they got me.
Damn, they got me.
Damn, I thought I had this shit in the bag, and they just got my ass." And then the tower falls.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what happened, Trevor. I don't
Oh
think.
well, you know.
Foiled again
But-
by those dastardly Baggins.
Dastardly Baggins.
Those damn baggins.
Oh, by the way, I did change out the filter, so it should be good now.
Sweet, Trevor has actual clean drinking water.
Oh, you were giving him
It was
like Flint,
clean.
Michigan
My-
water?
What?
Mute my mic.
It was clean before. It was just I didn't feel confident about
Also try to not bump into Josh.
having it any later. But
So you were giving him Flint, Michigan water? Is that
yeah, 100%. It was just solid yellow. That's how it looked.
Detroit tap water.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. All right, you can turn me up now. There we go.
Nice.
I didn't want to deafen. That's for you, Steve.
So, so anyways, back to what we were talking about. That one was a fucking nightmare.
Hey, Gabe, if you're watching, is that you?
What was that?
It sounded like Trevor talking. but it
I
wasn't
heard
him.
I heard my name. What was that?
Nothing. It's just
Play it.
Would it be?
Yeah, the last podcast came out 11 months ago.
I remember when you called me on that podcast.
Josh.
You told me I was like, I do have a story, but I don't want to talk about it on the phone.
That was. So
the
we're just
second
gonna talk
episode.
over
Third
this.
episode I recorded.
I don't remember this. Did I record this with you?
When was this?
Yeah, this was recorded 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the old one then.
Oh, this is Weird Arts.
This is weird art.
Oh, so you guys have done the call me bit twice because you called me recently on one of the more recent ones.
Yeah. Can we turn this off?
Nah.
Really? What movie?
I can't hear my fucking self think.
Anyways, so you haven't been in a Busy Boys video yet, have you?
No.
So is this?
He's our landlord.
Is,
Yeah.
that's right. Is this your first canonical
Yes.
appearance in Busy
Canonical?
Boys?
Yes.
Canonical.
Yeah.
Canon doesn't matter in this channel.
No, not anymore. After this lore video. it
Or
won't.
does it? Hint, hint.
Well,
You guys are putting an ARG in that, right?
Yeah.
not an ARG.
You're putting a full ARG that's like well
I
funded.
would love to do an ARG, but I don't have the time for that.
Yeah.
Sure you do.
Didn't you just have 2 months off?
I do, but
I just feel like if you were serious about this YouTube business, you would have taken that time.
Listen, I've tried having this talk with him. Stop! That's gonna blow out my stepdad's car
Yeah, I feel
speakers.
like you're gonna hurt him more than me, I think.
I love the idea of that going up and like the entire car just
It is.
vibrating.
He told me he listens to the podcast and he has to turn the volume up and down like every 5 minutes.
It's fine.
Just to be clear, that is Trevor's fault. That is like a
He
needs
does
to
have
fix
the
audio.
he does have
when
the
he
audio
uploads it.
corrections.
Who cares about equalizing the audio?
Who cares about people having a pleasurable experience watching our videos?
Exactly.
Hey, make sure you like, subscribe, share this
You
with your
don't
This
best
is
friend.
for us. This is for nobody
Yeah, but
else.
it's nice to have that option too.
It's nice to have options of people liking our content.
I mean, our last podcast got 66 likes.
I don't, not likes, but views. I don't understand why that one did so well. What did we talk about that was so incredible in that video?
We're back.
I mean, most of the
Sure.
time, yeah, most of the time it's not the content. It's like either we're back, YouTube maybe picked that up and got that in front
Maybe.
of some people.
And I said, well,
I do know
we
f-
are back.
I do know for a fact that in the first lore video, there was a random guy who commented, and he was like, I just randomly found you guys from recommendations, and I like you now, basically.
And I replied, I was like, what a suck up. Fuck you.
No, what he replied to was like, yes, I quite enjoy these people content. They are very high quality, and he said that to every single comment in that video.
I typed like, oh yes, I too as well enjoyed the content that these two have provided us.
And now that person probably left because I'm like, I entered some sort of AI generated bot zone.
I scared them away. One random person that isn't correlated with us in a way who liked our channel, I scared them away.
People like to find those weird little channels.
Trevor does it all the time.
Especially if they feel like they found something early. So, I mean, there's a decent chance he's stuck around.
Oh,
But at the very least,
I told Trevor if we went on YouTube in like early 2010s, we'd be rich right now.
We would be very popular, I think. Yeah, I think it would have been much easier to get a following.
Oh,
at
yeah.
that point.
That's probably true for a lot of people.
Can this podcast be called Cat Scratch?
Cat scratch. Yeah, I could call it that.
I still think that's copyright. I don't think you can call it that.
Call it Cat Scratch? I could
think-
call
Why?
the episode title Cat
Oh,
Scratch.
yeah, the episode. Yeah.
Trademark Nickelodeon. That's okay. The last podcast that came out, we were like, fuck it. Let's just see how fast we can get our channel taken down. We started playing Disney music.
That happened pretty fast.
Well,
Just
we did play Disney
Steamboat.
music. I played music that sounded like Disney.
No, you played like fucking Home on the Range. You played music for movies that
did.
nobody
And
remembers.
guess what? Not a single copyright thing.
Let's do it again.
Play Steamboat
More,
Willie.
I
more.
was literally about to look that up. I was like, hey, we can play that. No problem.
We can talk about Steamboat Willie, Winnie the Pooh. That's
I'm not a big fan of the guy who runs China. No.
it. Is it?
Yeah,
Is
Winnie the Pooh runs China. Yeah.
Nice. Good for him for getting out there.
You actually can't air this now. If you ever go to China, you can't air this episode.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna sit through
The
this?
busy boys.
Yes,
What if I
absolutely.
blare just horrible sounds? Do you
They're-
think they'll still listen to it?
Yes.
They're gonna see your name. They're gonna look you up, do a background check, like they do everyone who comes through the country, and then they're gonna go through channels, and they're gonna see exactly what you said
They're gonna kiss you.
or what I said, and guilty by association.
I mean, yeah, we can just actively play
I
this and we
can
won't get in
just have
trouble.
this in the background and there's no problem. It's so weird.
God, I love copyright
Well,
laws.
let me look at the copyright list, like the stuff that's gone into
Look
public
up,
domain.
look up characters who are
Disney, Adina Menzel, Frozen, Toy Story.
You know, I've never seen Frozen.
Sorry, I'm trying to get you guys copyright. I'm just trying to say the names, get the AI to pick it
Oh.
up.
Disney's
Let It Go.
Dinosaur.
Um,
Nobody will care if we talk about Disney's
No.
Dinosaur.
well, they'd be glad because it'd be getting more views.
Yeah, I'd be like,
God.
holy shit, somebody remembers
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
What do you think about that movie, Joe?
I haven't seen it. I'm never gonna watch it. I saw the trailer for it. And I went, "This looks like one of those forgettable throwaway movies that they're just pumping out." And I'm never gonna watch it. And it looks like that's what it was.
So, Gabe, what do you think about that?
Disney's Dinosaur is my favorite Disney
Is
movie.
it really your favorite Disney
It is
movie?
my
Am
favorite.
That's fine. Am I right? Is it a throwaway movie?
Oh, no, you're 100% right.
Okay, that's fine.
I love that.
There's nothing wrong with it.
I will fully tell people, like, oh, yeah, no, that movie's bad.
Sharknado's up there for me. So I mean,
I thought you were about to say Shark Tale.
Shark Tale's up there for me, man.
But
I
you know
love
what?
that movie.
I looked up Trevor didn't believe me. I looked up a list of Disney's top 15 most successful animated
Shark Tale's
feature.
up there.
No,
it?
Shark Tale?
Shark Tale's DreamWorks.
Yeah, that's
You're right. Yeah,
DreamWorks.
it's DreamWorks.
Dinosaur was up there. Dinosaur was like number 13.
I mean, they have a lot of movies. To be fair.
Well, I mean, I think the reason they made so much money is because it was early 2000s and it was that level of CGI.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, they
being
also
impressive
tricked
on its own.
people. If you watch the trailer for the dinosaur movie, they don't talk.
But in the movie.
But
they
if you
do.
watch the movie, they start talking. So it's
wow.
like they trick the audience.
monkey.
They tricked the audience into watching like what they thought was going to be a cool dinosaur exploration, like documentary style.
and it's
But what we got was Disney style music and everything. It's like, oh, I'm a funny little guy.
that sounds terrible. I would not have liked that.
I watched a whole documentary about the production of that movie, and it's crazy how much that movie went through. Can we turn off the fucking Steamboat Willie?
I was waiting to see when you would crack. Of like, can you turn it off now?
I tried so hard to get behind that, but can we turn it off?
I just wanted. I really wanted to see how whole.
But yeah, that movie was supposed to come out like early 90s
I
instead of
see.
2000.
And they just kept pushing it, pushing it.
Well, there was pushback dates. They changed because the guy who made the movie wanted to make it a documentary nature style movie,
Right.
and he was also supposed to be claymation.
Okay. That's a weird choice, I think, for that kind of style. But
Well, I mean, Jurassic Park wasn't out yet, so it was like, well, they started thinking of the movie in the 80s.
I see. So it has a really long history then.
A really long, like I definitely recommend anybody watch that video because it's a terrible movie. I love it. I will always love it. It's always gonna be my favorite movie. But the story behind it is very interesting, actually. Anyway, that's my TED Talk. Let's talk about a good Disney movie.
I'm curious now. Shark Tale, how much did that
God.
make? 'Cause it was a terrible movie, but it succeeded big time,
It
right?
did.
It
Oh
made,
my
like,
god.
So much money.
They made a PlayStation 2 game off it. It had to have done well.
Yeah.
Well, of course, they made a PlayStation 2 game off Disney's Dinosaur too. Shout out to anybody who's ever played that game, by the way.
Oh, also,
No.
since we were still talking about Disney, I want to play a quick clip for Josh to hear.
Okay.
For context,
Song of the South.
this is Walt Disney himself.
Oh, I know what he's
knows what
playing.
Is he gonna say like a slur?
No.
Oh.
This is Walt Disney himself introducing the Seven Dwarves.
Dwarves,
Dwarves.
not dwarves.
This pompous-looking individual is Doc, the self-appointed leader of the group. This little fellow is bashful. He's secretly in love with Snow White. This
Who
funny
isn't?
face is Sneezy. He has hay fever.
He's dying.
And old Droopy Eyes is called Sleepy. And Happy here with the beaming smile. And old Sourpuss here is Grumpy, the woman hater. And last,
I mean, it was a different time, so
Explain
like,
that one to me.
The Womanator.
The Womanator.
I mean,
and he said it like a bad thing.
whoa. I mean, look at it from his perspective. Some woman broke into his house, slept in one of their beds, ate their food.
But
I'd hate her too.
he's angry. He's angry about everything. Why is it specifically women?
Because women back then were just awful.
Anyways, you wanted to know the numbers for Shark Tale.
Yeah.
Budget was 75 million.
Okay.
And which one do you want to know? Domestic, international, worldwide?
International.
International was 213 million.
Jeez.
Now do Dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Let's see which movie's better, Dinosaur or Shark Tale. Because I remember watching Shark Tale all the time as a kid, thinking like, haha, this movie's awesome. And I watched a clip of it the other day on YouTube.
Doesn't he slap somebody in that movie too?
Probably. Oh no, he gets slapped. What an ironic twist.
Maybe that's what it is. That's what I'm thinking of. He gets slapped. Yeah.
But I rewatched a clip of that movie. It was like when he like Sebastian, the whale washing dolphin.
Wait a minute.
And I was like, oh, this movie didn't age well.
No.
You
Yeah.
have an interesting thing here.
The first thing I think of is the whale
See?
washing scene.
You
too.
look up Dinosaur, you find interesting stuff.
I'm interested now.
Trevor's finally a fan of the movie.
Okay. So, to put this in perspective, Shark Tale, 75 million budget.
Yeah.
International, 213 million.
I bet Shark Tale's gonna do more.
Dinosaur, budget of 127 million.
Oh my god.
Which makes sense. I mean,
International, 212 million.
wow.
That's less of a profit, right? That's like way less. Did I unplug something?
That's the noise I was hearing earlier.
Move your phone.
Really?
Wow.
I didn't hear anything. But
Meanwhile, my phone's just right here.
I know, it's a weird thing where sometimes phones will come in contact with it and it'll make that. Oh, but it's not your phone.
Sponsored by Samsung Galaxy.
Anyways, I thought that was interesting. I saw. Yeah.
Well,
so-
I understand why the budget for
Shark
Dinosaur was
Tale-
higher.
Shark Tale made $1 million more in international than Dinosaur did. I just think that's funny to me.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Okay, also, worldwide for Dinosaur was 349 million.
Okay.
Shark Tale worldwide, 407 million.
So Shark Tale did better.
It did better.
Chinese liked it more.
I understand why.
Also, it made way more of its money back compared to something like Dinosaur.
Oh, yeah. Well, Dinosaur was a risky
Too
gamble.
expensive.
Why have the cat interrupted when it could just jump right on the table near my water?
It's just coming after your water.
I can see the risk for a movie like Dinosaur because it incorporates CGI
Yeah.
onto real places. Like the backgrounds, I mean, those were real places that they shot at, and just added the dinosaurs on top of it.
Yeah, it was one of the early movies that the behind the scenes they did red screen.
Yeah.
It was like one of the first movies to use red screen because you have blue screen, you have green screen, and then they used red screen.
Why?
For the grass.
Why?
Because it would make the grass pop out more. So
see.
what it was they shot real footage of grass. And then you have to add the dinosaur somehow in that grass and make it look good. So they shot it where they put the red screen in like several different spots.
Oh, okay.
That way you could have it believably behind the grass in it.
And sometimes, a lot of times,
It's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
because they did this for the. I don't know if you guys ever saw the Walking with Dinosaurs documentary, like BBC did,
Oh, yeah.
where it incorporated like live action with CGI. A lot of times for that, when they animated like the grass or the dust kicking up, they made real life size models of the dinosaurs' feet.
Yeah.
and like
They
would
did
press
that-
them into the ground.
They did that in Dinosaurs. For
Yeah,
the shot where
That's what I was saying. Like, I would
Yeah.
assume they did that for Dinosaur too.
the shot whenever they're getting the water out of the ground, that's a real foot.
Yeah.
So,
So I understand the risk for a movie like Dinosaur.
anyways, anybody else want to know any budgets for movies?
What's a really bad movie that everybody knows besides the two we just mentioned?
My head was somewhere else. I was thinking about why, because when you say worldwide market, you're really just talking about Asia. Like it's just Europe
Pretty
is that-
much.
this
Yeah.
big.
I think Russia's gonna
But this
be.
this lists all three. So
Yeah, and so I was wondering why Shark Tale was
Did
more
better?
interesting to the Asians than
It was the Jamaican jellyfish.
Yeah, they don't have Jamaicans around there. So
probably.
They're like, whoa, these guys are cool.
yeah, they've never seen that. They're like,
I
wow.
love Jack Black. I truly believe Dinosaur would have been much more of a successful movie if they didn't talk,
Yeah.
and if it wasn't set in the fucking desert, where there's
Most
no
of the movie is
landscape.
in the desert, and it does not.
Which
look-
is because another behind the scenes thing. That movie was the movie was supposed to take place in like a lush jungle,
What's easier to animate?
and that's why they did in the desert. It's easier to get around that.
Yeah, yeah. You don't have to animate any trees or.
Literally, they're just like, hey, this is easier. Let's just film in the
Josh's
desert.
comment is like, it's better to easy animate nothing.
Literally, that's why they did it. It's like, hey, this is cheaper.
Yeah.
Do Astro Boy?
The animated one?
Yeah.
The American one?
The movie that came out in like 2009 or
The
something.
one that has Nicolas Cage in it?
Yeah.
They look up the budget for Megamind 2.
Megamind 2.
The movie, of course.
Okay. Astro Boy was a budget of $65 million.
Okay, so far that's lower than both of our movies.
Yeah. What do you? Which one do you want? Domestic, international, worldwide?
Worldwide.
$39 million.
Wow.
Didn't even come close. I knew it was a failure.
Failure. Yeah.
But domestic, so like in America, it made $19 million.
Yikes.
Yikes.
There was a. I think it's.
Well, found a movie worse than Dinosaur.
I don't know if it's Marvel or DC. It's like Beetle Boy or whatever the guy's thing. He's a
Blue
blue
Beetle?
A blue beetle. How was that?
I never even watched that
I
movie.
remember seeing ads for that. It was like, who was excited for this? Who cares?
All I remember was like, oh, George Lopez is in this movie. That's cool.
But wait, say his name again?
George Lopez.
George Lopez.
I thought you said his last name differently.
I might have I think I said Lopez.
Okay. Blue Beetle, budget of $25 million.
Really?
Still less than Dinosaur.
That's really low for. that
Well,
kind
because
of-
you only have one character that needs the CGI work.
Yeah.
And that's it.
do Flash after this.
100% I will. Worldwide was $130 million.
That's still really low
It is.
for a DC. Well, it's DC.
That's high enough
so.
for a
But it
sequel,
still made
though.
its money back. So.
Yeah.
Because you have to double the amount that your budget is.
Can't
No
wait for
wonder
Blue
they're
Beetle 2.
restarting.
Whoa. Anyways, what you what?
I can't wait for Blue Beetle 2.
I mean, Blue Beetle will be back. Just as
It's gonna be something different.
well, it's gonna be the
Green
same
Beetle.
actor.
I think didn't James Gunn say the only person who's staying in the DCEU is Peacemaker?
And he's the actor who played Blue Beetle.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, those are the
Oh,
only ones
okay.
returning.
How are they keeping Peacemaker? The show made sense because it was before Suicide Squad.
I bet.
What they're
you-
probably gonna do is make another
I
Suicide
was about
Squad.
to say, I
and,
bet you it's just gonna be John Cena's playing Peacemaker, but it's not gonna be the same.
well, I don't know. I mean,
Continuity.
we already have the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie,
Yeah,
so I mean they'll
but
probably
that movie's already too connected to everything else.
so he'll
So
make another one.
Yeah, he'll just make another one.
Yeah, because that's not a problem that DC or Marvel has. Just
What, they're
making
just a
new
clean
continuity.
slate?
Man,
I mean, could you imagine just resetting over and over and over?
and making shows that make no sense, and you know they're gonna be awful, but you make them anyway,
Well, that's Disney's problem.
like
right
She-Hulk.
Now. That's Disney's problem right now.
Or taking like a really successful game series and throwing the Suicide Squad name onto it and killing Batman and then ruining the goodwill you had with the fans.
Yeah. Josh isn't a fan of the Suicide Squad game. I don't know if you guys caught on that. And Kevin Conroy was like, oh.
It is really disappointing. That's basically the last Arkhamverse Batman. performance
Yeah.
from him, where he's just like, yeah, it's a bad joke. And then he gets
Then he gets shot by Harley. Spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
Whoops.
Bet you didn't think it was me, Bats.
Yeah. you said that made me think of like the 60s Joker.
Well, that's kind of all the
Caesar
same character.
Ramon Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bat foiled me again.
I love that. That's what you think he sounds like?
I don't.
Meows.
I don't fucking know how I sounded.
That's kind of a weird. They got too close to the mic, I think.
Sorry, I'll sit back.
Thank you.
My cord is
It's on a thread right
clinging
now.
on for dear life right now. I'll just lean back in. What are we talking about?
I don't know. We're kind of we're bouncing everywhere.
How far are we along right now?
50 minutes.
That's longer than we usually go before we lose concentration.
Hey, we're getting it. Hey, it's almost like a third person.
Last
helps.
time we got like 20 minutes into it and we already lost. We were like,
we
done.
were like, are you kidding me? We have to record like an hour more.
We don't have to record an hour.
No, I love getting,
You know,
we're going everywhere, man.
people have been telling me that our podcasts are too long.
People listen to podcasts.
Our podcasts aren't even over an hour and,
And
a half. How are they too long?
That's why I was like, podcasts are usually around this long.
They're usually
I-
like an hour and a half to 2 hours.
What
like,
people mean by that usually is that it's too long to be interesting. Like you're not interesting enough. Is kind of what they're saying. I
That
think.
does sound true.
damn.
We
It's
aren't
not, well,
very
it's not like
interesting.
it's
It's almost like I don't care.
people listen to podcasts.
All right,
because
fine.
they
We'll make it
wanna-
more interesting. Bring in the hookers and cocaine.
They want to hear people who are interested about what they're talking about. And so
We
like
don't have that.
if you're trying to meet a certain time limit and you don't have anything to talk about that you've prepared already, and you're just trying to like spitball, people
It's
can
happened a few times with us.
they pick up on that subconsciously.
But
And
there's
so
also like,
it feels like it's dragging on to them because they feel like there's nothing else to talk
but
about.
there's also podcasts that I've listened to before where there's no subject matter. It's just two people talking.
Are they very passionate
I was
about
gonna
what
say,
they're
but
talking about?
they could probably stay on a subject longer than
Yeah.
we can. I don't know if you know, you and me get distracted very
Well,
easily.
If the
main
podcast has
one-
a theme, that helps.
No,
We started off talking about cryptids, and now we're on Disney movies.
one of the main podcast that I listen to, the main point of it is just for the two hosts to talk.
Right.
And
But
that's
are they good at that?
Yes,
They're
very
probably a
much
lot
so.
better at it than we are.
Only because one of them.
Josh meant to say you and me.
All three of us.
Only because one of them is a stand-up comedian. so
Exactly.
he's used to talking.
Yes.
And the other one is batshit crazy. So he's fine.
Meanwhile,
Yes.
I have ADHD and Trevor's depressed.
You don't even know what I have.
He's both.
A gun.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. They're a stand-up comedian, so he knows how to talk for a long time, and he knows how
Yeah.
to make it.
But
like, worthwhile.
and then the comedy also comes in whenever the other host is trying to disrupt the other one.
Right.
Boy, where have I heard that?
It's yeah.
Does he do it with loud sound effects?
Oh, yes, he does. If you think I'm annoying, try listening
Yes,
to that
I do.
podcast.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted a solution to that, it would be just record until you don't want to record anymore, instead of like, oh, we got to hit 2
Well,
hours.
we should have shut this off at 15 minutes.
But I like talking to you guys.
You know, you can talk to your friends without it being a podcast.
Yeah.
We've talked about that. We'll talk
We've
about.
talked about it where we've talked for like an entire day, and then we record for the podcast, and we're like, well, fuck, what do we do?
Like, we will talk about the most random thing, and we'll cling on to that for like 4 hours.
Well, you guys also have years of context to play off of.
But like,
you're
if
recording
we start to
people
talk
who
about
relate.
that same thing on a podcast,
it won't come out the same.
we're just like, yeah.
Well, I'm sure there's some stage fright, maybe a little bit. It takes a long time.
Trevor does have stage fright.
I
why
have
he-
like 2 other podcasts.
That's why he hides behind the computer.
And if you take a break from doing them, it'll come back.
Well,
That's
there's
just-
long breaks between both of them.
Yeah, count how many return videos we have.
It's the
We have 2.
it's the routine of it that I think is where it comes from.
Yeah,
doing
you
it
just
over
get
and
used
over.
to it. But I did tell you that one of my previous podcasts is on Internet Archive.
Yeah,
Who did that?
it's automatic.
But like, none of my other things that I've done is
They don't get
archived.
everything, so it's
Why did that specifically get archived?
the bot scrolled through. It's bots,
That's so weird.
and the bots don't catch everything. Sometimes they do.
Okay.
It's just how it is. And maybe someone like I don't know what the word.
Gabe's done. He's out.
It's possible that someone would have like archived it themselves, but I don't think so because they'd have to care, and that would make it like one of us 3, or Cody or Phil, like people that were involved.
I would love to think it was Cody that did it. I don't know why. I think
Why
it's
would
really
he
funny.
have done my personal podcast though? That's
exactly.
the most
It's
confusing
like,
part.
He's like,
so-
I'll do that again.
I'll
if you-
do it myself.
He's like, I'll do it again if you don't make any more Green Wolf videos.
He did a Thanos thing where he was like, "Fine, I'll
I'll do it myself, and then he snapped.
You know what topic we can talk about?
Godzilla.
Gabe, we already talked about that anyways.
Yeah.
Also, Josh has no relation to that.
Yeah.
Which makes it even better.
What's your relation to Godzilla?
There was, on PS2 there was this fighting game.
Great
and
game.
It wasn't Godzilla, I don't think, but he looked like Godzilla, so it might as well have been Godzilla.
War of the Monsters?
Yeah, War of the Monsters. Yep. That was
I
a really fun
loved
game.
that game.
Yeah, it was really good. I really like to ignore fighting the other monsters, run around and destroy buildings and like step on the little people.
Or if you hit the UFO, it causes a tsunami.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool secrets in that game.
That's a great game. We need to play that game sometime.
We should.
Yeah, and then there was,
What do you have it on?
You can get it on PlayStation 4.
Really?
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll show you when we're
yeah.
done with this.
Oh,
it's
okay.
one of those.
I think it's free too.
I don't know if it's free, but
I
it's,
think if it's free, it's for the
It might be
PS
PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
it's the same way you can play like San Andreas, where they did the backwards compatibility thing.
And it looks awful on PlayStation
It
4.
is, yeah, it's not really good. But
If it's not free, it's got to be like $5.
I watched the good. Well, I say good. I don't know what the fans of Godzilla say.
What is he gonna say? What this?
Probably gonna say -1.
One of the new Godzillas was really bad. Was that the 2013 one or like 2015?
The American
2014.
ones?
I know there was one that was like undefensively bad or indefensively bad. It was
What if he's
just not
talking about
watchable.
Shin Godzilla?
God, if he is, I would kill him right
It was
now.
one of the more recent ones, and then the one before that was fine, and that was the one that I saw.
Okay, so let me go through them. Okay,
Trevor
I'm so
Trevor
confused.
processed everything in his mind just now.
I was like going through
The
every
way he
single
was
possible-
blinking is like he's like going True Detective.
I was see everything. Okay, there was Godzilla 2014 that had Bryan Cranston in it.
Maybe it was that one. Is there like a bridge scene on a train?
Yes, on the
Yes.
train track.
That's the one that I've seen. I liked that one. I thought
Okay,
it was okay.
The immediate next one after that
was
is
Kong.
Kong.
My mom saw Kong, and I watched parts of it, and I think I know the ending.
Kong's awesome.
Kong's
That-
good.
that's-
Doesn't
an
he go and
underrated
like
one.
meet his like Kong family? He goes to the underworld or whatever.
No, that's
No.
Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh, okay.
And he doesn't even
And he's a
his
meat.
family.
That's the trailer for the new one
Yeah.
that's coming out.
And then after that one was King of the Monsters.
Lord
Okay, I
Fights-
definitely
Is that
didn't
the one
watch-
that
I
you're
have
thinking
not
of?
seen King of the Monsters. I saw the first one with Bryan
Okay.
Cranston.
See, I don't really like that one.
King of the Monsters or the first one?
The first one.
Oh, 24. I like that one a lot.
It was okay.
I like how weirdly dark it is.
Is the one I watched the bad one?
Godzilla 2014.
It's a healthy mix.
So amongst fans, at least what I can get from the vibes is that most people don't like King of the Monsters.
I would say it's like they don't like King of the Monsters, then they don't. It's like King of the Monsters,
And then
2014,
2014.
Godzilla versus Kong, and then Kong is. It's either vice versa for the last two.
And majority of people usually like Kong just because it's so weird.
I
and
think
different.
Godzilla versus Kong is the best because that's just you go in that movie knowing what to
it's
expect.
goofy.
It's an action-packed film of monsters fighting.
But then we got another Godzilla movie coming out.
That's
this year.
Godzilla and Kong.
No, Godzilla X Kong.
Yeah,
New Empire, baby.
When's Mothra coming in?
Mothra already came in.
King of the
When
Monsters.
Mothra's dead.
When is Mecha Mothra coming in?
That's
That's after we get Mechanic Kong,
yeah. If we get Mechanic Kong, then we'll get that.
which we kind of are. He's got the robot hand.
Yeah, but I need the goofy ass looking head.
I know, I do too. And then -1 is objectively the best Godzilla film ever.
Well, this is my comparison that I've always said. You go to the
Here
Japanese,
he goes again.
I'll kill you.
Wait. Is it racist to say Gojira?
No,
No,
I
because
mean,
that's how it's
Gojira.
it's said.
Okay. just
That
making
is how it's pronounced.
Gojira.
Just wanted to make
Gojira.
sure.
If you're going to a Japanese Godzilla film, you're going to see a movie. If you're going to see an
Sometimes.
I'm getting to that. I'm talking about like the new age stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to an American Godzilla film, you're going to go see someone punch action figures against each other, and I love it.
Okay.
And if you watch the animes, no.
You're getting dog shit.
That Singular Point wasn't bad.
Singular
sorry.
Point's good.
There's a Godzilla anime?
There's like
There's
4.
There's Singular Point, and then there's the movies called Godzilla Earth.
Those were bad.
Those are bad. They're just boring.
Which one of them lets Godzilla be an anime girl?
None of them.
Monster Mezume?
That one.
Thank you. That's the one I'll check out.
Please do.
You watching any animus?
See, this is what I'm talking about. We were talking about Godzilla. Now we're talking about anime.
If we just switch topics, it's fine.
The last anime I was watching was Cowboy Bebop because I knew I had to watch it.
a good
I,
anime.
I made it to episode 4 and I haven't seen much more.
Wow,
of it
you
yet.
stopped right before like the episode.
The episode?
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering. I was like, man, I'm sure this is gonna kick. Like, it's not bad.
Literally the next episode. Episode 5 is like the episode that everybody says is like get to that one and then see how you feel.
Okay. Maybe I should just give up and watch the Netflix live adaptation. I hear that's really good and faithful, and people will really enjoy it. So I think I might switch to that.
Yeah, totally. See the restraint I have.
Trevor was clenching his fist, grabbing the table.
I was absolutely clenching.
Not like the glorious treasure that is the One Piece live action show.
It's not that good.
It's not. It's not. It's better than most live action shows we've gotten.
Correct, but that's still like not a high bar.
I think
to
you and
go
me
over.
pointed out when we were watching. It's like they skipped over so many things.
Well, they removed a lot. They added a new element, the GARP thing, that I personally don't.
I don't like
like.
it.
I like.
I don't like that they introduced him this early as his grandpa.
I don't like that.
Spoiler alert, Josh.
I mean, I don't know enough about One Piece. I know the universe is wacky, and so the fact that they brought it to the real.
Yeah, but the stuff that they covered in the season is like the least wackiest stuff they
Oh,
could.
so they're-
it's everything after
Like
that
they
that gets
picked,
stupid.
they
Okay.
picked the least interesting things to to talk about in the show or
No.
cover. We didn't get to see Dunkirk. We saw him for like a second and he died.
I won't speak too soon because I mean I don't know anything about One Piece, but I heard people say they liked it, and I was like, well, I mean that's pretty impressive.
I liked it. It's
'cause
okay.
It's okay.
Like
but
I'll watch
well,
season 2 when it comes
It's not the
out.
greatest thing I've ever seen.
I was gonna give them props because it's a wacky show. If you can
No,
bring that to
what I will give them credit for is that it's the only one of these anime live actions where I've watched it and I actually felt something.
So you watched it. You finished it before I did.
I did, and I actually like felt something.
I see.
It is
Pain.
very rare. It is very rare for me to watch any of these live action ones to feel just any sort of emotion other than just pure disgust.
It's mostly their fault for ruining them.
Well, for the advantage of this one, they actually had Oda with. He actually like oversaw the project
I did watch
to the point where he told them to do reshoots of stuff. So he obviously had a huge hand in it.
I watched that the one on Netflix that you told me about that was on there. It was like the prequel. Talk about the
Oh,
guy
Monsters.
from Thriller Bark.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's good. I only saw it was
It's
one
just
episode.
black hair Zorro.
Well, I'm gonna wait for you to watch it just in case.
I've
there's-
already seen it.
No, there's only one episode, so there's gonna be more
Oh.
stuff.
Eh.
I'm gonna wait for you to watch it just to see if there's any
spoilers,
for like
huh?
Wano stuff.
I don't think there would be. If it's well,
I don't know. So,
who fucking knows?
but you, you and me saw probably what my favorite live action anime is right now.
The Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah.
The Lorax.
I can't.
Lorax.
Didn't they confirm that they're finally working on the sequel? Okay, I'm happy about that. It's been way too long.
Well, because James Cameron finally released Avatar 2, and so he's like, you know what?
I guess I'll put something in
I
between.
guess I'll make Alita.
I only got 3 more Avatar movies to get through.
So, as long as he gives it back to Robert Rodriguez, I'm fine with that. Rodriguez.
Did you see that Coraline is coming back?
I'm sorry, Coraline. The book that's one book. It doesn't have a sequel. That one?
No, as in like,
They're not making a sequel.
the
They're
movie's being re-released.
Why?
Just because.
because people like it.
What does re-release mean in this
They're
context?
gonna reanimate it.
As in, they're going to release it in theaters, and you can watch it in 3D.
That's it.
Like
They're
what
not
they-
changing anything else.
It's
I was
like-
worried for a second.
It's
do
like what they do
realize-
when Jurassic Park has its like annual anniversary and they re-release
You do
it.
realize that Neil Gaiman has like a hold over that movie, right?
No, I don't know anything. I was hoping. Look,
I
nothing
was-
is sacred anymore.
No,
Nothing is sacred.
To the point
No,
where,
he's right.
no, to the point where there was a day where it was trending that Coraline 2 was a thing, and Neil Gaiman went online and be like, "Guys, you're an idiot."
Yeah, okay,
This-
I mean,
it
good.
isn't real.
That's
glad.
not a
Good.
thing.
And so Neil Gaiman has stated many times that this is it.
I was gonna say,
You know,
So he
we've
has a
heard
hold.
that before from many people.
Yeah, but Neil Gaiman actually has hold over this property. So
For now,
I highly doubt Neil Gaiman's going to sell off one of his.
well,
You
if
never
he
know.
dies, his
if he
estate
dies,
might.
if he dies, or you never know. I mean,
Neil
I'm just
Gaiman
saying.
ain't that old.
Well, I'm just saying, you never know with this day and age.
I could go. I can't say that.
What were you gonna say, Josh? Please enlighten us.
Oh,
I'm going to have to censor you.
Yeah, you would have to censor me. Yeah.
Just say it anyway. Make Trevor look through all this podcast just for this one pit.
I'm gonna go kill Neil. Never mind.
He said he's gonna go kill
Gonna
him.
threaten Neil.
He's not threatening. He's going to actively murder him, is what he's trying to say. There you go. I took care of it for you.
also,
So I had to clear my throat there.
Also, it almost sounded like you were going to say Neil Druckmann for a second.
It's funny that you say that because his name did split through my mind there
Uh-huh.
when it was happening.
I just keep thinking about Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Smug bastard, both of them.
Neil
He-
Druckmann ain't
he
that
is.
bad.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil
is.
Druckmann really jerked himself off when the game came out. I don't know what he's doing now.
So did I.
That bad.
I don't know. Well, it was just like watching him.
Listen, man, I feel like I'm the only one who actually likes that game.
The gameplay was fine. The story was abysmal. It was poorly written. There were things they could have done with it, and he chose to at every point to subvert expectations.
But I don't think he subverted them for the sake of shock value.
I think he did.
I don't think he did.
I think if he was not doing it for shock value, the story would have ended where everybody thought it was going to end, and not where it didn't.
Which one?
There we go.
What do you mean, which one?
Which ending? Because there's like 3.
Well, there's only real one canon ending.
Last of Us Part 2.
There's only one canon ending, and that's where you when she doesn't kill her, and he goes, "Okay, I just did all of that for nothing. Bye." And they wave to each other, and they play the really happy music, and everything's fine.
What happened? But okay.
That's pretty much what happens.
No.
They either should have given you the option, regardless of whatever the fuck story they wanted to tell.
I think whenever I first played the game, I for some reason thought they should have given me the option, but now having sat on it, no. They shouldn't have given you the option at all.
Then the game should have ended if it was about letting go and not seeking vengeance. They should have done that when she did that and was at a house and had a nice like thing going on, and not when the random dude. I know I told you not to go after her, but you gotta go after her now, dude. She killed Joel.
This is the part of the podcast where I just sit out and let them argue.
And you're supposed to go.
Passionate about this.
You're supposed to go. Excuse me. She's happy now, and she let it go. And now you, who told her
But
not
it was
to go
Tommy's
kill.
fault. Tommy came in and was like, "What are you doing?"
And it's just like,
Listen, Josh, you're not gonna be happy with my tier list video that I'm making.
that's fine. I don't care. It's fine. I just wish that Neil Druckmann didn't get off so easy. He got off like happily with playing an ego. He got off happy. He got an award. All the journalists circled around him and told him how awesome he was.
Yeah, and then what about everything else around that? Everybody else.
Everyone
hates him.
went. Anybody who hates the game is anti-trans and they hate women, and they're all incels.
What's wrong, Trevor?
God damn it, Gabe.
I mean, it's a fair.
Can this picture be the thumbnail?
It should be actually. Yeah.
I can fit it in there somewhere.
Sweet, dude.
If you send it to me.
Yeah. He
I
got
have
away.
plenty of pictures.
Okay.
He got away with saying everybody who doesn't like the game is they're anti-trans and they hate women, and everyone was like, okay, yeah, that's true, that's based and true. And if you don't like the game,
That's based and true.
You're anti-women, you're anti-trans, and you hate women. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I love the game then, because.
Incorrect. What if I just left it there?
I mean, these days I think it's better. We can talk about it, but when it came out, you could not talk
whenever
about
it was out, it was like you either thought that game was the greatest thing ever to exist, or you thought women.
Or
were
you
the
hated
worst-
trans people,
or you
yeah.
hated women.
Yeah, you're like,
It's either or.
I think there was a way to do what he wanted to do in a way different way that he did it, and he just saw his own vision and only saw it through.
I don't know. I'm fine with it.
Like-
Listen, man.
When I mean, come on. When they're showing you the dogs, and Abby's like, "Look, Abby loves the dogs, and the dogs are amazing." And then right after, she comes in and kills the dogs, and it's like that's.
But that happens before that scene.
But it's a purposeful thing. It's done
It's
on
supposed to
purpose
show
to go.
you irony.
It's irony is how dumb the story's playing
No,
out.
it's supposed to show you how ironic it is that you're supposed to be seeing these things happening. And it's like, oh, we know where this ends, kind of thing.
No, that's not a good use of irony then.
Gabe is out of this because he hasn't played the game, so that's why he's not.
I feel like
interjecting.
your version is insulting Neil even more because it's like, oh, he just doesn't even know how irony works. He just throws it in there. He goes, oh, it's ironic because the dogs that you think they don't die. Like, it doesn't make sense.
I'm battling like two fronts here. I'm trying to like have a conversation with Josh, and then Gabe is out of the podcast.
If there's anything
right now.
we can be clear about,
I'll be hanging out when you guys are ready.
it's that Gabe is right. Gabe's right.
Yeah, Gabe, what do you think about it?
Yeah, he is right. I can't really argue with that. He knows what's up.
I go into more detail in my tier list video whenever I release it. So
I just wish, at the very least, it could have been a choice. Because it's like, okay, you want to tell a story, you want to make it about letting go or whatever. You screwed that up, but whatever.
I am okay with some video games being a linear story. Like you don't have a decision.
I don't think the
to
sequel should
break
be
it
that.
off or
I don't think the
anything.
sequel should change that. I think that I feel like that's not.
If you think there was a sequel, do you think it should still follow the same characters, or should it be a different part of the world?
You mean Last of Us 3?
Yeah.
Well, at this point, now after everything they've done, it has to be new characters. If you do the same characters, you're defeating the whole point of letting it all go. Because okay, now it's the same characters again. What's her child gonna do? Gonna grow up and be vengeful?
Sure.
Yeah, it's just like nah.
Vicious
Just
cycle,
do
man.
new characters.
Vicious cycle.
Because that way, when the show catches up, they get to do new characters.
Well, show is not going to catch up for a bit because they're going to split part 2 into 2 seasons.
I wonder, do you think they're going to make any major changes?
No.
You think they'll make changes like they did with Tess? That's her name, right? Tess. The girl.
Oh,
who-
the woman that gets bit early on.
yeah.
What was it?
The changes were she instead of she goes out fighting fireflies and
Well,
not
because they don't
fireflies,
have
but
the biting thing anymore, right? In the show, no, being bit's still a thing.
yeah,
Never
it's still a
mind.
thing. Yeah. The new thing for them in the show is that they can
There's no
detect you
spores.
underground. There's no spores at all.
Well, that's what they said before the season 1 came out, was that the spores don't exist.
I think the spores exist, but they're not. They're in
They're not
specific
like
places.
the thing where you need to wear the masks.
Okay. I kind of like that, so I hope that they come back with that. I like
My
those
only
areas where you
question
have to wear
is
a
like,
mask.
what is that going to do for the reveal that happens in part 2?
Yeah, it changes
because,
a lot
like,
of
Abby,
things.
like, there's a scene where she has to take off her mask, and that reveals that she's immune. Type of thing.
It changes a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think that they didn't get rid of the spores. I think that they maybe changed like how often that you might find them, because they talk about it a little bit about used to needing a mask. Yeah, he's playing a little bit of Tetris.
Gabe, get back over here.
I think he's saying to wrap it up. I think the podcast.
Listen, let's end it with a video game that Gabe can actually talk about.
No, it's okay. I just didn't want to interrupt.
What, Pal World? Yeah. Okay, Gabe. How do you feel about Pal World?
I was playing Tetris.
That's not Pal World.
We don't have to end it. I just didn't want to interrupt.
You could have just come in and asked
I don't know,
questions.
and I don't know anything about the game, so I didn't want to interrupt.
That's fine. Well, we could talk about a game that you actually know.
People are tired of hearing about Last of Us, anyways.
All right, how do you guys feel about Tetris?
No, well, let's talk about another game
Tetris.
that
Yeah.
we're all three familiar with.
Tetris still counts.
Red Dead.
I just wish they would have killed Arthur faster.
Spoiler alert. Spoilers.
I wish he would have died
wasn't-
so much more painful.
Why wasn't the main character Micah? I related to him.
Why
He was
wasn't the main
everything-
character a trans black woman?
Cut that out.
that out?
Red Dead's good. Red Dead Online sucks. It's really
Always
shame.
has.
It's a shame. Well, no, Red Dead Online in the first game was great. I mean, I don't like the way they handled the DLC because there's a lot of microtransactions there. It was a really
Give me
early-
Red Dead Undead Nightmare 2 and I'll be happy.
That would be nice, but you'd have to get Red Dead 2 Undead Nightmare in the first place.
Yeah.
They're just never going to do that.
Probably not.
They're too busy working on GTA 6.
I'm just gonna play this Tetris game 'cause
a year ago.
We're talking about Red Dead, man.
I know, but I gotta talk and play.
ADHD, goddamn
Record
it.
that, and Trevor can edit in the recorded
Yeah, he
footage.
can
on
put the
screen
gameplay.
Right now, so they
Absolutely
can
not.
see
That's
what-
too much work.
You guys hear this is your YouTube like channel. This is the guy you're watching. And He says it's too
I
much
put enough
work.
work into other. I put enough work into a lot of things. I turned off your mic, man,
Why?
because there's sounds blaring from your.
Yeah,
thing.
it's the Tetris theme song. Everybody loves the Tetris theme song. Look, even Josh is
I
watching
think
me
Gabe will
play.
get a hate comment.
no.
I get enough hate as it is from this channel.
Red Dead 2 is also in my tier list video that I'm making. so-
Top 10 hottest game characters.
Well, yeah, what's your tier list? What is the best video games?
Well, I'm making a video. God knows when it'll be released. I'm currently editing it.
Right.
It's
2 years.
about 2 years probably.
Yeah.
It's
About as long as it took the first podcast I was in.
Damn.
damn.
The shade.
It's a tier list of my time playing video games on the PlayStation.
Right.
So like everything from where it started to the most recent. And then I just put it in a tier list of like what I thought. And it's not the most traditional tier list
It certainly seems weird. Yeah.
because it's S, A, B, C, and then there's a last tier list for so bad it's good.
So you don't think that games are capable of being D, or you just didn't play anything that you would call a D
I
or
didn't-
lower?
He
didn't-
doesn't believe that there's a bad game out there.
Yeah, I didn't know. I just didn't want to go out of my way to play a game that I knew I probably wouldn't have liked.
What a fucking baby.
I see. Okay.
So most of the games that I got were recommendations probably from you guys or just ones that I heard of that I wanted to play. So most of the time they're guaranteed to be good games that I will probably like.
You say you guys, but you haven't beaten Watch Dogs 2, and and the only other game I've really recommended to you was Outer Wilds, which you made some progress on today, but you still
You also recommended me Death Stranding.
The only game I ever recommended you was
Yeah,
Firewatch.
but you were gonna play Death Stranding anyways.
No, you recommended me Uncharted. There we go.
Well, I feel like
I
that's
played
just a
Uncharted.
given.
What?
You hadn't played Uncharted?
I did.
I feel like
I'm saying before Gabe recommended it to you, you hadn't played Uncharted?
No.
Had
feel
you
like-
played Last of Us?
Yeah. Yes.
That's
we were
crazy.
just talking about last.
Well, I'm
time.
trying to figure
There
out the
they go
time frame.
again.
So you played Last of Us, then Uncharted.
I played Uncharted then Last of Us.
Oh, okay. That's what I was trying to figure
So
out.
the order, I think I did the first 3 games, and then I did Last of Us, and then Uncharted 4 was somewhere in there, and then I did Last of Us Part 2.
I feel
I
like
would say-
Uncharted is a given though. Like you have to play that if you
But I
have a
got it off
PlayStation.
of your recommendation because I remember texting you a long time ago to give me PlayStation recommendations. I have to go through the messages. But it's all of the games that I've played on PlayStation specifically.
All 2 of them.
So, and the thing is, I only made the category so bad it's good because there's only one game that fits in it. So
Red Dead.
Red Dead. The game's garbage, but I love it.
We always had a joke tier when we did tier list before, so that makes sense. Yeah.
So
We're gonna do tier lists after this podcast.
that's the video that I'm making. So there was a couple things that made it an S tier. So some
S
of
tier.
some of them you'll like.
Are you clarifying? Is S tier the perfect game, or is it just
No.
your favorite?
At one point, I do make it clear that S tier is what I personally love.
Okay.
There is no like, oh, this is what factually is a perfect game. No, it's just what did I have the best enjoyment and experience with.
But Trevor does this weird power trip thing. Where it's like, if my opinion's not the best opinion out there, then it's the worst game. If I
Yeah.
say it's the best game, then it's the best game ever made.
Also, I know for a fact, I don't think anybody's gonna agree with my list.
I remember when the new Star Wars trilogy came out, Trevor was just like, "These are the best Star Wars films ever created."
Don't think I said that.
He said that word for word to my face. I went, "What are you talking about?" Everyone in the whole school looked at you. The whole thing
Don't
went
think I
silent.
said that.
He said, "You know what Star Wars really needs? A strong female lead."
Yeah, he said that. He said that they need Kathleen Kennedy specifically. You basically casted her yourself. Like, people don't know that.
Like you
but-
self-casted her. Like you put it out there on the internet, and everyone just
This
got
is like,
tired of you
this
hearing
is like
so much.
gaslighting, but like on the extreme end, where it's like, no, you did do this.
And you said that your favorite scene in all movie history was when they shoot the light speed through the big.
That scene is
the big
awesome,
ship.
though.
You said it was your most favorite in history.
And then you said, "Hey, let's make a solo movie."
Only next to the scene where the bombers come through and they're affected by gravity in space and they all
Yeah.
drop down. You said that was your second favorite scene.
you ever
in
seen
all
a
of
Star Wars film
history.
before?
Yeah, the good
No.
ones.
They all do that.
No. No, I haven't seen a Star Wars film. Maybe.
Oh, you've never seen a Star Wars film? All
No,
right,
what
well,
is
that's
that?
good.
What is Star Wars?
What is Star
We've been
Wars?
talking about Lord of the Rings this whole time.
What is the definition of Star Wars?
All right. Well, before we end this podcast, I promised my mom I'd call her.
Oh God, here we go.
She-
All right, Josh, let's continue our talking. Just hit it on the mic there.
Sorry. This will be how we end the podcast.
Okay. I'm gonna cut it off right as she answers.
Don't be mean to my mom like that. I will hurt you physically. Let's hope if she doesn't pick up, that'd be even more funny.
I'm gonna do violence to you.
I'm feeling romantical.
You played Bug Snacks?
No,
Oh, you gotta
I'm
put
saving
that.
that for PS5.
Hey, mom.
Hi, honey.
What are you doing?
Oh, watching Putin and Tucker Carlson.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You wanna?
What do you?
We're getting ready to end the podcast, and I promised I'd call you, so you're gonna be the ending part of the podcast.
Well, yay!
So, can you give us some words of wisdom before we end the podcast? Josh left.
Who's Josh?
Oh no, he's still here. Never mind.
Oh, okay. Good thing.
So
What's
give.
your podcast about? What's the words of wisdom?
You know, we don't even know what the podcast is about. Just give us
Yeah.
some nice closing words.
Maybe you should have it on live so I can see you.
All right, guys, there you go. We should have it on live.
All right, guys. Everybody have a great night.
All right, thank you, Mom. Thank you for helping us end the podcast.
Oh, I love you.
I love you too, Mom.
Bye.
Bye.
Trevor.
Bye.
Bye.
When I say I love you, Mom, can you just add like a big sound effect? Oh.
I love Josh being in the background, being like, "Love you, mom."
Okay, bye, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye.